Hi, I'm gonna talk about cancer rising. My dog's chewing a tennis ball in the background, so that's what that is. And I just wanted to make a quick advertisement that I have a monthly forecast up on patreon.com/harmonicocean. I'll put the link in the description. It's a $5 fee, and you get access to every month's astrological forecasts. If you're interested in learning more about astrology or just using the lessons from aspects and planets and signs for your own personal enlightenment, or to incorporate them into anything you might be doing day to day, it's a good tool to kind of plan out the month ahead. That being said, we're talking about Cancer rising, which is perfect because I feel really kind of cuddly and introverted. I was thinking last night about how it's pretty cool how the rising signs flip-flop between extroverted and introverted perfectly. Like Aries is an extrovert, Taurus is an introvert, Gemini extra, Cancer intro, Leo extra. You can keep going like that. But yes, Cancer rising is a pretty introverted placement. However, they are incredibly direct and very good at managing situations, because a lot of people forget Cancer is a cardinal sign. So they are able to collectively draw everyone towards a goal through their emotions. So they're gonna charge everyone with a feeling, and then everyone's gonna want to act on that. They are really good about convincing other people to feel certain ways, not necessarily the way that they do, but if they want to make you angry, happy, guilt filled, motivated, at peace, they will be able to do that pretty easily through their aura, and they won't even really be thinking about it. So this can be kind of a manipulative placement. It's inherent in Cancer in general, but especially so as a rising sign, or like as a Mars sign, for example. And manipulative is perhaps has a lot of negative connotations towards Cancer, but to manipulate something is to change it in a way that makes it function differently, in a way that you want, or simply changes the energy. So in a sense, Cancer is very magic, and that's where the moon comes into. So you could see it as that too, as an alchemical process. They're able to shift the emotional energies of other people constantly. It's just kind of part of what they do as a water sign. This is the first water rising that we're talking about. Well, I talked about Scorpio first, actually. And that's what it does. While Scorpio is a little more closed off as a rising and Pisces is all over the place, Cancer is a little bit of both. You're gonna try to keep your own emotions to yourself, but because it's a rising sign, it's kind of out there for everyone to see. So this is probably the most vulnerable place for Cancer to be positioned in a chart, because you don't have a way to hide. So this person's gonna be way more open and upfront, which is why I said yes, even though it's an introverted placement, they're probably less introverted by nature than someone who has their sun in Cancer. These people are gonna come off as very nurturing and very protective and very defensive. So this might be someone who is very friendly by nature, because they genuinely do care about everybody's needs. But at the same time, if you try to get too close to them too quickly, they will throw up a really hard boundary just like that, and they will cut you down. You need to take your time to get to know somebody like this, because of the way that that's set up. They're gonna be really nice to you, but they're going to attack you if they feel like they have to. And it's going to take a while to kind of dance around with that a little bit, because it's a bit conflicting. You're going to think like, oh my God, this person's so sweet. They just care about everyone's well-being. And then you'll see them being really harsh and really cold and throwing up really big walls around them. But that's just what Cancer does. And most of the time, this is behind the scenes stuff. And this is all right up front. So in a way, it's a little bit easier to navigate. The Cancer energy can be a little bit difficult to interact with on an interpersonal level, because it's really hard to know what's going on. Water signs in general hide parts of themselves and show other parts of themselves, and Cancer's really good at that too. They only really want you to see a certain side of themselves, and they'll keep the other parts hidden, except to their close friends and stuff like that. I know I'm talking about Cancer energy a lot in general. I'm just hoping to explain it better to people, and it can be a very confusing rising sign to have and to see in other people, just because, like I said, it kind of flips the idea of Cancer on its head to a degree, but it does have some positive aspects. So yeah, this person's gonna be really protective. They might be always around like their family, or they might stay at home a lot. They might have a pet with them all of the time. They're gonna seem in some kind of way like they're able to provide for other people. Cancer rising is the kind of person that you go to if you need help, especially with bigger things like, oh my God, I'm really broke. I really need someone to help buy me lunch. They're gonna do that, even if they don't have it themselves, because while Taurus is an energy that is like, okay, I have 5 pieces of cake, me and 4 other people can have a piece of cake, or I can just save some more and I'll have a bunch. Cancer's like, oh, there's 6 people and 5 pieces of cake. All of you can have a piece of cake. I won't have a piece. So if you ask them for a favor, know that sometimes they're sacrificing a bit about themselves and they don't really know how to help that. They're always gonna do it. And then sometimes they get mad at people for putting them in situations like that when they find themselves with a really small amount of resources. But unfortunately, I don't know if this is something they can necessarily help. And the best thing to do is, as a friend of a Cancer rising, try to only ask for help if you know that you definitely need it and that this person also does have it themselves, and or you can pay them back or something like that. This person's not really going to be like a very warm and cuddly person. That aspect is missed a little bit. I mean, they're going to be affectionate towards people that they trust, but like they're not someone you can go up and give a hug to. Like that will freak them out. They have quite a lot of personal boundaries about their body. They're extremely sensitive with their body, and who they allow into the closer levels of their aura is totally up to them. And if you disrespect that, you are gonna really hear about it, and you're really not gonna like their response, and you're gonna get set way back in the acceptance line. They don't really like physical touch that much, especially from strangers. Like if you don't know this person, don't get all up in their grill like that. They're really not gonna like it. They're gonna come off as probably like really moody and dramatic and really emotional. And the trick here is they might actually not be on the inside, but because it's their rising sign, it's gonna project off like that. Because I've known so many Cancer rising peoples that have like Gemini moons, for example, and they really don't have a strong connection to their emotional body, and they're all up in their head, but they seem like they're a mess. And they're very like moody and projective and just throwing their emotions all over the place. And if you ask them, they say they don't really feel that much. So, I mean, it obviously depends on the person's chart, but don't assume that Cancer risings are an emotional person, as ironic as that sounds. Don't assume anything based off of these. Um, you know, I'm just trying to help people understand people better and understand themselves a little bit better. But obviously everyone's an individual, and I say that in every video just because it's super important when we're talking about astrology. Anyway, Cancer rising is also going to have an incredibly intuitive ability to sense other people. They're going to know what everyone else is feeling, whether they want to or not. And that, in essence, lies in a little bit of their manipulative magic because they know. They're really good at working with animals for the most part because they can pick up on really subtle emotional stuff. All of the water signs have a lot of psychic abilities because water, conducts electricity in a really interesting way, and it's just an essence that can hold and flow and change really well within the body. So it becomes like a channel or a current through which telepathic abilities can express themselves partly. Obviously, all the elements are involved, but you don't necessarily need air. You don't need to say out loud what you're thinking. Animals don't do that all the time. I might be rambling right now, but I just want to say that Cancer risings are really good intuitive communicators, and they're going to understand what you're feeling. You can't really hide from them. In this sense, they would also become incredibly good therapists because they're going to know where you're coming from, but they're going to also be so closed off in themselves and a little bit detached from it because it's a rising sign. So they're going to be really good at, reading you, but they aren't going to interfere with that process too much. They'd also make really good managers because, like I said, they know how to collectively aim people towards certain things and push them to do it through emotional motivation. And they can be really good business leaders and that kind of a thing. Obviously, everyone can be anything that they would like to be. These are just suggestions. This person probably wears a lot of layers when it's appropriate. Oh, hi. So hold on a second. Get that. They're gonna have a lot of levels around their aura and their persona. We just adopted a pit bull yesterday, so bear with me. What was I saying? Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of layers around their outer personality still. So again, like I was saying before, where it takes a while to get to know and understand this person, Cancer risings are really complicated and they're really complex people. And they might not be aware of that, and they might wonder why they have such a hard time getting to know people and getting to trust people and having solid, decent people in their life. And it's because you're not going to be the kind of person to have a million people in your life. That's not really what's meant for you. You're meant to have people around you that you can trust, that make you feel safe, that nurture you, that will take the time to understand you, that will be patient with all of your shifts and swings and manipulativeness. Cancer's not the kind to surround itself with people. It's a very inward placement. So this is also a rising sign where, yes, you're introverted, but you will spend quite a lot of time alone because it's where you feel the most safe and the most connected. You might surround yourself, like I said, with, close people and everything. But as far as strangers, it's something that you're not really interested in, and you're just going to kind of wall up because it takes a lot of effort to process through all of your layers and to intuitively process things and read someone. It takes quite a lot of energy out of you. and you probably aren't aware of that, and you might get super exhausted at the end of the day. So it's a good idea to just kind of sit and reflect and not be around people that you don't know for periods of time so that you can recuperate and get back in your energy. Oh my God, he ate like half a tennis ball. So what else do I want to say about this energy? You're probably really smart and you're aware of a lot of things that are going on. It's hard for someone to get one past you, you know? But at the same time, Cancer's equally susceptible to being emotionally manipulated if they're not careful, and they usually don't know that it's happening. So especially if this is your rising sign, it's a double-edged sword. And just be wary of the people that you have in your life and make sure that they have good intentions for you. Hi, Romeo. Do you want to be in the video? Hi. He's cute. I should probably go and take care of him, channeling the Cancer energy and all that. So I hope this was helpful. Bye.